Good evening, folks. San Cinto Labron Pablito. I want to welcome you again. I was sorry we're a little bit late, but we had things we were trying to settle, so we have some issue here. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. We say thank you very much. We appreciate it. Lord Jesus, again, we thank you very much for bringing us back here again this wonderful, wonderful Friday. Lord, thank you for the blessing that you continue to pour on us. Thank you, my Lord, for your protection. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your mercy. I said, thank you for your mercy. And because of that, we're here. Because of your mercy, we're here. No man has control over anything except you. Thank you, my Lord. Lord Jesus, you know we have two tables. One table back home, continue to put food on it. And a table here in the diaspora, we continue to put food on as well. And because of your blessing that you continue to provide for us, we're able to do those two things at the same time, only through your blessing. And because of the faith we have in you, we will continue to work hard and carry on those type of responsibility that you instill in us. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a wonderful culture. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the blessing. Lord Jesus, we ask you to bless our country, bless our leaders, give them wisdom to do good for the country. And Jesus, we ask you to continue to bless the host country as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's go ahead. Folks, we're a little bit late here this afternoon, this evening actually. So by this time, we're supposed to be almost an hour into the show. This is Dr. Weir, President of the Republic of Liberia. And we say thank you. Honor his leadership. We're doing good. I say we're doing good. Thank you. Thank you. Things are going here and there, but overall, we're doing good. Nobody's dying. We're doing good. Not every day, we're doing good. The country, the laws are there. The Liberians are respectful for the law. So we'll also say thanks to the Liberians. Please, just be patient. Just be patient. Don't let the thing slip out. Please help us all. That is the country we have, the only country we have. Let's try to maintain the peace. Let's remove people from power based on election, based on what the Constitution allowed us to do. No other way. Let's go ahead. That's Dr. Weir. I'm late a little bit. So my subject matter here tonight is about, you know me, I don't rush into things. When people are talking, blah, 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 I take my time. So the ECOWAS community, which is a 15-country, West African country put together, and have what they call West African Community, whatever they call themselves, but they call it ECOWAS. But anyway, a year or so ago, there was a real debacle, I call it, constitutional debacle, constitutional crisis brought on by ourselves, Liberians. They decided to impeach one of the sitting justices. At least when Tubber had few people removed from the Justice Department, he did it at night. There was not many noise, but those were two-way party. So now they went and decided to charge Justice Kabina with some charges. One of the charges that he was convicted of was that he was not able to allow or provide leverage for the petroleum company, and they were not paying into the road fund. And he was charged with that, and they found him guilty and what have you. The issue for many Liberians at the time, including myself, was that for me, I was arguing at the time. My argument was based on two premises. One was that this was a way to build institution. However, I was against the idea because I also believe that he was charged based on his involvement during the election. Remember, during the election, there was a court issues, court challenges, and things like that, and his involvement. I believe it got CDC members, the lawmaker of CDC, perhaps wanted to pay back. And so they decided to bring all kinds of charges on him. And of course, he was convicted of one. However, the good lawyer as he is, he didn't sit back. He didn't take it laying down. In fact, many people, many learners of lawyers all over in Liberia were crying foul because they believe that the involvement of the Chief Justice was not suitable. His involvement, they thought it was degrading to the court. And they threw it. But here's the thing you have to understand as well. The Constitution, in order for the president, justice, vice president, of people to be impeached, the justice, Chief Justice have to preside. So his involvement was ordained by the Constitution. Let's put it that way, if there is any such thing. Okay, so there was no way he could have removed himself. However, the argument then was, even if he's going to, but he should recuse himself. Because according to Councilor Justice Jana, that the Chief Justice was one of those who signed paper for the charges to be brought against him. So he's saying, you signed for the charges to be brought against me. Now you're going to sit in judgment. What is the fairness in it? And he challenged that. However, the Chief Justice and the rest of the lawyers and people didn't see it that way. They decided they're going to pursue with it. However, interesting thing was, and I'm just refreshing your mind, you can go back and research it. The interesting thing was, he was found guilty and he was impeached. And people were jubilating all over the place. And he's a Liberian, for Christ's sake. What have he done? What exactly? I mean, this time, I'm not talking about past. Every one of us has checkered past, so I'm not even going to go there. I'm talking about the reason why he was removed. Was it something that was really in line for him to be removed? He has committed such an egregious crime that he had to be removed. I didn't see it. Many people didn't see it. We thought, and I still believe, that his removal was political. However, we should have known better, because in one of the sittings, there was specific language that his removal, his impeachment was political. Look at it this way. He was appointed by the executive, and he went for confirmation. It was all political process. There was no election. So definitely, it's all politics. But if you're going to do that, the law says these people should be able to be free of political influence, so that they will be able to make judgment. One way or the other, it's going to hurt people. But they shouldn't be afraid of making these type of judgment. It was one of those judgments he's made. And in the Constitution, he said a judge, a justice, or lawmaker cannot be charged based on their constitutional duty. And they charged him because in his ruling, they said he gave cover to the petroleum company. They see that, you go research it. So how down now you're going to charge somebody if you say this person, maybe I'm not a lawyer, maybe I read it different, I was just reading it from layman point of view, so maybe that's why. But if the Constitution says you can't remove somebody because of someone who is like the judge, lawyer, I mean not lawyer, but the judge, the lawmakers, those are people you cannot remove based on their judgment, their involvement, their carrying out their duty. Let's put it that way. So at that time, things were hot. Things were hot in Monrovia. The Chief Justice didn't take kind to the criticism, barrage of criticism that was coming his way. He didn't take kind of it. So he went and delivered a speech. And he told the people that, look, I don't mind you guys criticizing. I don't mind you guys writing, but be factual. Don't just denigrate our characters because you don't agree with us. And this is the interesting thing he said. You can look it up. And I'm just paraphrasing at this point. He said, look, we're judges, we're human beings, we can make mistakes. And if we do, we will say we're sorry. But there's no reason for people to go on and call us names and say all kinds of nasty stuff about us. The president of the bar, Councilor Gongolo, He wasn't having it. He told the Chief Justice, "This you have brought the court you have brought the court to dispute, and you have brought the court to ridicule, public ridicule, and this is not something that we would take kind of, because some of us here to protect the law of this country." Anyway, it was a big deal. The Chief Justice at one time publicly, not just frowned on Councillor Gongolo, but he even said something that in return was, I'm glad that Councillor Gongolo didn't respond, because it would have turned to something else. Anyway, so the Justice Kabila Jana went to ECOWA court and carried his case over there. Anyhow, to make long matters short, so a day or so ago, they ruled in his favor. Liberia lost on the international stage. Now, interesting thing, my logic that I'm going to put forward here is this. There's two things I'm going to be arguing about here. I'm going to be arguing on here again tonight. And I hope that people will give me the opportunity and listen a little bit. The first thing I want to argue, which is the negative side, is that the Chief Justice, and I think, because the same thing, for example, in my profession, as a lawyer, please, as an engineer, if I, sit on a committee to review engineering documents, to review plans, I will do my best to look at the plan from a broad perspective, number one. Secondly, what are they asking me to do of this plan that they're giving me as an engineer, sitting on a committee to review these plans? What is my responsibility? It must clearly be stated in the paper. And I will hope to carry out that responsibility without fear or favor. Okay? The Chief Justice, he thought the law was on his side. And this is what I found a little bit troubling, because there were lawyers in Liberia before they got to the ECOWA court that were complaining. The same thing ECOWA court has been saying. They were complaining. This is not right. This man's rights as a human being has been violated. This man's right as a justice sitting on the Supreme Court has been violated. People were making noise. But once again, it seemed like we Liberians, we have a tendency to say, once we have the power and we have the numbers, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. One of the things many of us don't recognize as Liberians, that because you have the numbers, does not mean you should violate an individual right. Because you have the numbers on your side, that if it comes for vote, you will win because you have the number. That doesn't mean that does not negate the right of an individual whom you're going to exercise that discrete, whatever it is that you're going to be exercising. And many of us don't feel like that. We feel we have a number on our side. It doesn't matter. The rule is the rule. We have the number, we win. The same way we behave in political campaign, it's the same thing we do in many things in Liberia, even here in the diaspora. You go to many of the Liberia organization diaspora meeting. Once they feel they have numbers on their side, let's put on the table, let's vote on it. It doesn't matter who is being violated, who is against. And they say, let's vote on it. They always want to vote on something. Because if they have the numbers, I don't even want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Let's vote on it, my man. And you say you're right, let's put it on the floor. And they want to put, forgetting to know that it doesn't necessarily mean that majority will always rule. Because majority rule, yes. But you have to be very careful how you exercise that. Because in exercising majority rule, you can infringe on people's rights, constitutional right. And that's exactly what happened here. So anyhow, the Chief Justice was not having it. In fact, if you go and read, there was other people there was a heated issue in Liberia. There were speculations that money was being exchanged. In fact, Councillor Flanty Kofa, former Liberty Party chairman, who then crossed over to CDC, was also accused to say that he was the one the executive was using to give money, to dole money out to senator to vote in the favor. Of course, Flanty Kofa denied it, but it was all over. Okay? But there were those that were stressing the issue of violating somebody's law or human rights or constitutional right. And people were pushing it. Those that were pushing the money aspect, the argument was not holding water much. But the idea of violating somebody's rights as a Liberian was heavy on many of the lawyers that were involved. But there were the other lawyers that were, they say the number counts. So they went in, and of course they convicted him based on the numbers. So when he went to the court ruled recently against Liberia. The egg has been thrown in the face of the Chief Justice. And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. Because this is a learned man. This is a Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. And the ECOWA court, bunch of lawyers in the court, judges, are saying that the Chief Justice and the entire Senate were wrong. You know how that make the Chief Justice to feel? To be honest with you. I believe the Chief Justice, if he's somebody who cares for his reputation, because this appears all over the country, saying that his involvement, he's a Chief Justice and he was involved, and the process in which the Chief Justice was involved was wrong. In fact, they also asked that the government of the Republic of Liberia reinstate the justice. They also asked that the justice should be paid $200,000. And not only that, they said the government of the Republic of Liberia should pay this man until he's 70 years old when he retired, and all of the benefit that he's supposed to get at his retirement must also be paid. I'm not too sure if Liberian government got that kind of money anyway. And even if they do, I'm not too sure if people like Samuel Tuah will look at check and sign it to Kabila. So I'm not too sure if that happened. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. What the ECOWA court has done is to say to the Chief Justice in the Republic of Liberia, to say we're watching. Because, no, look at this, folks. Look at this on a very serious note. There was serious investment in the type of institution by the international community, by ECOWA community. There was serious investment. Besides human capital, there was serious investment, financial investment, to make sure Liberia comes along. And the Chief Justice, he's well respected in his area. But now to have your peers to tell you publicly that the decision that was taken by the Senate, of which you presided, you're supposed to be the person who's supposed to interpret the law. And now they're saying that your interpretation is wrong. Those of us that know ourselves, man and me, it has something to, I finished my job. And that's one of the reasons why when you see me when I go to the project, I do video and things like that, don't mind when I'm explaining the process involved, I will not leave no stone unturned. Because you don't know who's watching. I'll give you an example. Last Sunday, I was doing a mechanic job here. And one of the screws that I was supposed to take out got stuck, was not loosening. I had my WD-40, but I wasn't thinking at the time. And somebody wrote on my on the live feed, said, why don't you put the lubricant in it? And my son read it to me. I said, oh yeah, that means we don't know everything, especially when you're doing stuff. But in this kinds of profession, what the Chief Justice, in order to be a Chief Justice, Liberia, I keep telling you guys, Liberia is not a banana republic. It's a law-abiding country. People respect the law. Now, people say, well, don't say that, Mr. Toh, you don't know. Well, I'm just saying it. Okay? So for the Chief Justice, to have these kinds of issues. Now, folks, you know, when you're in this position, you don't think these people are under pressure? A week ago or so, a young man set himself on fire because he said the Chief Justice refused to pay him. The same man went underneath Chief Justice's car. You think people are not watching? So these kinds of things continue to. Chief Justice is a lawyer. He has peers. He got people who are also watching. What is it? What is this man trying to be? A dictator? An enabler? So these are the kinds of questions that are being asked. Okay? So now, when they went to the court, the court said the Liberian government have to give this man all of that is due. Okay? Interesting thing. They didn't call the Chief Justice by name. In fact, one of the things they said in their report, not necessarily the report, but I mean in one of the articles that I was reading on Front Page Africa, where they said Liberia risk sanction. Okay, if you go through that, yes, they think about that. Okay, they will do all they can to make sure Liberia certify the judgment. Why? Why you think so? Okay, ECOWAS, a bunch of 15 countries, West African countries put together and said we're going to cooperate in a lot of things. At the same time, we're going to be sovereign, though, but we're going to cooperate in a lot of things. Okay. We're talking African leaders. It doesn't take long for somebody to emerge as a dictator. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. The West African nation, you have some countries that are trying their best to stay above the dictatorship phrase or whatever it is. They're doing everything possible, following the rule. These people are members of this community. Okay? Now, they also have another side that is there to protect the integrity of these little institutions in the different countries. The international community is also investing into ECOWAS general body so that they will be able to protect the little institution. So they themselves, if they can come up with this ruling, they're going to have to make sure these things are protected. But here's the interesting thing. ECOWAS has ruled on many cases. And these cases have done nothing in different countries. So Liberia is not going to be an exception. But however, this is the interesting thing that I say. These people that made the ruling, they will make sure that the ECOWAS body themselves. In fact, the guy stated that. Let me see if I can find that article. The guy stated that. He said, we'll make noise. Liberia will pay. Because they want to make sure the next time. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. What do we want? For example, in Liberia, we want war crime court. Who do we expect to bring the war crime court? Of course, Liberia. But who you think when they get involved, it will be easy to come? The Western world. Europe getting it, America involved, the war crime court come the next day. No two-way street about it. ECOWAS, it seems to me, is trying to take that kind of responsibility to say we will try to lead ourselves. So these little stuff here and there, if ECOWAS is not able to implement these little rules and hold people responsible, you see what I'm going with there? If they are not able to hold each member responsible based on the rule of law, then whatever it is that they're trying to do will not be respected outside of that community. And they don't want that. So they're saying within themselves, we must do what we can to make sure our institutions are protected. The integrity of the institution of ECOWAS is at stake. Because if the integrity of the ECOWAS community is not respected, they won't respect you. Then you know what they're going to do? When they're ready, they just come, boom, they plug one of your leaders and take them to the head. And then you'll complain. We're here. They just come and plug one of the leaders, violating people's human rights. They're taking to the head. They're not taking him to Town Town. They're taking him to the head in Europe. I thought we were out of this Euro business. But because the integrity, the institutions that are supposed to guide human rights, those institutional integrity are all ruined based on lies, and the citizens themselves have no respect for those institutions. So if ECOWAS wants to take responsibility of its own community, this is one area they're going to have to enforce. And if you were to go on Front Page Africa and read that article, you will understand that this guy, and remember now, ECOWAS, don't they have a passport where people travel here and there? Liberia can be sanctioned. And if they take it serious, it can hurt Liberia very easily. But the question now is, can you sanction Liberia? And the ECOWAS community, would they be able to cooperate and hold the sanction together? I doubt it. But let me go on and read this thing, what the guy say here. Okay? It's a very interesting thing. Okay? This is the ECOWAS, okay, the ECOWAS Code of Justice. Edward, his name, Asante, okay, had threatened that the regional body will consider the imposition of sanction on the government of Liberia if it failed to adhere to the latest ruling from the court on the illegal impeachment. Yeah, that illegal impeachment. So this thing is too sad. Let me argue the total way a little bit. Yeah, please excuse me, you're the quick people. Let me argue the total business. That your business, the people say they don't want a man. Then you say, we're paying. That your business. We sovereign country. What wrong with you say? Your ECOWAS, you want care yourself, we eat like bro, we stay in our country. You want to go. Who care? You see the kind of argument I just put forward? And yet still, we're all connected. That argument will not hold. Those who want to, and I'm being funny right now, I'm just making fun, but there are those among us, there are those Liberians among us that are arguing as such. But it's not going to hold. If you were to go through the article, you will hear what the man said. They're trying to make this whole issue human rights violation. And you think the international community is going to look at this thing and say, oh, just forget it, man, that Liberia. No. This is what I'm saying. And this guy here, this justice here, he's serious. He, throwing hint at the Chief Justice. How dare you sit at the head of this illegal impeachment. And you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to be the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia. You're supposed to be the father of the law in Liberia. And you're going to sit and allow the illegal procedure to happen as though you don't know anything about law. I feel bad for the Chief Justice. I feel bad for the Chief Justice. And then the Solicitor General came out. He said he's going to challenge it. Okay. The best bet, the way I see things here, is to find a way to have some sort of out-of-court settlement with the justice. The justice have won. This is exactly what he was looking for, because it was a disgrace on his character. People were telling him, that he did X, Y, and Z, which he never did. But because they have the numbers, it wasn't about legal practices and what have you. They have the number, and it will require a vote, and they have the vote, so they press on. They press on, and they think about it. A Chief Justice, someone who is highly intelligent, highly educated, knows the law, to sit at the hearing and not even question. Not even question. To say, what is happening here? Let's take it easy. Yeah, we're going to have, it's a political situation. It's a political decision that is going to be made. Clearly, we all understand that. No question asked. But in the process, you are violating somebody's right. And if you're going to consider yourself equal among West African states, you can't be good. You can't say I like that part of ECOWAS, but the other one here, that's not your business. You can't do that. Everything that is agreed upon have to be implemented. There's no two-way street about it. There's no two-way street about it. So the lawyers among us will have to come and say something to us. Okay? When this whole process started, people were saying this is not right, because the man was involved during an election. When the court issue was happening, I believe that because of certain ruling that he was involved in, he had sedition. Lawmakers were upset and they wanted him out. So they started bringing out all kinds of charges. They decided to throw anything and hope something would stick on the wall, and only one stuck, at least in the eyes of the Liberian justice. But it wasn't even holding water, because even in Liberia, lawyers in Liberia were arguing, vehemently arguing. This is wrong. They were standing on top of the building, on top of the Chief Justice building, and said, this is wrong. We can't do that. But because they fell within themselves, they have the number. They do that all the time. And this is where, when it comes to CDC and myself, this is what I offer my criticism, respectfully, to be honest with you. Because seditions always fell with, they believe within themselves. They have the number. They don't care. Abu Kamara, giving an example. Abu Kamara was contesting to be a representative. And it's clearly showed that Abu Kamara was corrupt. There's no two-way street you can say it. Abu Kamara was working in a place and established an account according to himself. And where he was working, they were putting the money in his account. And he left the first job, went to the second job, and decided to use that same account, which makes sense. Because why would you want to open an account, another account, when you already have that? But the money from the first job was going into the same account. The money from the second job was going to the same account. It happened for some time. And he told us that he had not had the opportunity to check that account. How many accounts you have, Mr. Kamara? How many accounts do you have, Mr. Kamara? That doesn't make no sense. And that doesn't even, that's intellectual dishonesty. It's simple as that. That's corruption. But because they have the numbers, he was elected. He was elected. This is the man, if this has been in any other country that respect the rule of law, they will go, CDC will tell you, my man, sit down one side. Because the thing you have on you is just too much. You want to tell me there was nobody in the CDC hierarchy, nobody in the CDC president that would come and say, let this man sit aside, let's find somebody else. They didn't do that. They have the number. Here we go again with this other election. They have the number. You're going to exercise that number. It's your right. Voting is about numbers. But if you're not careful how the number system is utilized, it might turn against you someday. You might not have the number when you have the issue on your side, but because you don't have the number, those who have the number will use the same system that you're using now. Where do you go from there? These are things that I continue to say. Even if you have the number, be careful. And this is the same thing that happened here with the justice. They felt, sedition lawmakers felt they have the numbers on their side. And they went to decide to push the case. And we all knew that. Even me, I'm not a lawyer, but I knew that. And so look at this kind of embarrassing situation coming from ECOWA, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, someone we all respect and revere because he's an educated person. This is a man that I was on my show here during the election, that I like this man because he was there to open up the institution and to build. The Chief Justice was also, for me, I consider him like a pioneer, somebody who was rebuilding the institution, the judiciary institution. But look what happened. Why did he not recuse himself? Even the Constitution did not say you can't recuse yourself. They said the Chief Justice can sit. What can you recuse yourself and ask somebody else to sit in your place? Since you have already have a hand in writing to say that this man, these charges will be brought against him. If you have already done that, how is it now that you're going to sit in to be a judge? And these were things that people were talking about from day one. But once again, sedition and Liberians decided to go with the numbers. We have the number on our side. We don't care what your argument is. That is not the way to build an institution. That is not the way to build a true democracy, especially in Liberia. This system is very new to us. I asked something too. When I was little, how many years ago? Maybe 500 years ago or something like that. But when I was little, I used to go, 5 years old, I was voting. I would go inside, something to, vote there, then I go and come back. Then I call my grandpa name. Grandpa, then I told vote. I will even call the chicken in the house and they'll say the chicken voted. 5 years old, 4 years, I say in total, they were taking vote. They were counting. How many people voting for Tuwi Party? And when you look, when they're ready to make the announcement in Monrovia, they said Tuwi Party have a landslide. Landslide. Tuwi Party have never won any kind of election without it being a landslide. Of course it's going to be a landslide. If Samson Toe and every other name that he can think of at 5 years old can vote as many times as possible, then what makes you think you're not going to get a landslide? And this is why this Chief Justice, who's supposed to know better, to be the guide of all the, it's like the father of the law business in Liberia. And then when the young people started going after him, because they fell within themselves, that what he has demonstrated was not good for the law business in Liberia. And not only were they going after him, they were not only talking pop, they were writing, keeping record. And at one time, he got so frustrated, he decided to respond. And that's when he made that statement. Go research it. You will find it out. So what do we do now as Liberia? Out of this 15 countries of ECOWAS community, what do we do now? Do we say, don't talk to us, well, we're not going to pay this man? If you want to pay him, where the money is? Where are you going to get the money from to pay? He must be paid. Your best bet, don't argue any other way. Talk to Justice Kabila Jina, talk to Justice Jana, and Ice King to have an out-of-court settlement. And let the case out-of-court settlement. He's a Liberian. He's a patriot. The man almost died to save Liberia. This man almost died, if you know his history. You think those people that were fighting, you think they were fighting because they wanted to get rich? Most of them. He was one of those who were fighting to protect his people. You think we don't know these things? He could have gotten killed. So if you call him now and say, look, this is the situation. Like, we even get money. Even if we say we're going to pay you, we don't have the money to pay you. So now that you are being vindicated by the international community, let's settle this thing in-house. The best thing you can do, take Kabila Jina to Nimba County and call all the Zoe from all over the country. Let the Zoe beg him. He will agree. He will not. He's a Liberian. He's a Liberian. He's not going to say, no, I want you guys to suffer because of me. Let Liberia suffer. He's not going to say he's being vindicated. But let Liberians now come together and apologize to him. If you come truly, see, this is where a leadership that is not someone who cares to be, I'm embarrassed. This is the time. We're talking Liberia image. You have the conversation with Kabila Jina and apologize on behalf of the Republic of Liberia for what you guys put him through. I'm sure once the apology is extended, I'm sure he will accept it. And then the next thing, he will go and make a statement to ECOWAS and say everything that you guys asked the Liberian government to do, they have done so. He doesn't have to show them any money proof or anything like that. All you have to say is, I'm satisfied with the case. Everything is finished. And that's all. Because the judgment was in his interest. They didn't say can't pay ECOWAS. So even if you're paying FASE, if you go back to ECOWAS court, the lawyer gonna get paid, that's for sure. But if you go back to ECOWAS court and say, I'm satisfied, everything's okay now, your image will be restored. Then to go over there to fight ECOWAS. Because the more you fight, the more they will throw it. Let me read some more. Okay, let me read. According to Justice Aston, the two proclaimed judgment or ruling from the court has mandated the reinstatement. That's one. He made these comments when he spoke to on VOA. And listen what he said. He said, and I'm just paraphrasing here because I can't find the place. Okay, the government of Liberia have also shown a certain posture that they do not actually respond to the court judgment. But then we will keep fighting. This is the ECOWAS court judge. We will keep fighting. And we will keep publicizing as you have done. Now it's on VOA. It is going all over the place that the Liberian government, They are doing this, removing judges and all that. You hear that kind of, that real Liberian English. They're moving judges and all that. All that. They're removing judges and all that. And you expect to have genuine financial person to do investment in Liberia. These are little things you're going to have to nip in the bud immediately. If you're serious about having genuine investment in Liberia, who will want to invest in Liberia? Somebody, unless crook, but somebody who really want to have a stake, a shareholder, and they want to put their money somewhere so they can have legitimate return, and they want to come to Liberia. And people, another ECOWA, just the same Liberian people, Liberia are removing judges and all that. You know what that means? You're going to the route of dictatorship. You're removing judges and all that. Liberian removing judges and all that. Once again, I'm saying to this government, don't fight this. You can appeal, but what are you going to say? What other argument are you going to say? Except you're going to say the issue, the removal of the justice was political. So if it is political, does it mean that you should violate somebody's rights? They're not saying that it's not political. Their main issue is that the man, as a human being, right has been violated. This is their argument. This is their argument. So you're not going to say because it's political, therefore we have the right to violate people's rights? And then we want investors to come here and bring millions and millions of dollars because we violate people's rights like, bro, so y'all come invest. It doesn't make sense. Your best bet, you can do right now, to be honest with you. But then when I say so, they say, oh, you liberal, you always find it. Yes, you have to find solution to a problem. Because if you let this thing to drag on, it's going to start snowballing. The man can go another place and say, this is. Remember, the man who's sitting with Dr. Weah now, what's his name? Shaw sued Liberia one time, and I believe he said he got a judgment. He sold Liberia plain because he got a judgment, he said. So what makes you think that man can't go to other places and try to see if any other government, based on the ruling, he can go and say, okay, ECOWA, the people don't want to pay me. They got the other property here. They got the other, I want to put lien on this. I want to put lien on that. Then I tell you, you'll start fighting all over the place. Put the shame aside. That's not shame business. You're leading a country. You're a father of a nation. It got nothing to do with shameful business. Call the man in. Okay, my man, we're sorry. But here's the reason why we did this. But now the ECOWA court is saying that we're wrong. And we respect the ECOWA because we're part of that community. How you, this is just, it tires you guys so much, it's unbelievable. You can't pick and choose how you become member of the ECOWA community. Once you sign the document that you are a member, everything that is in that document applicable to Liberia. You can say, no, the other one, that I want to sign for. No, the other one, that I want to sign. I sign for the one because I like that. You're not doing that. Everything in that document, including the court issues, are part of the process. So you can't just come out and say, I'll sign for the one. I'll sign for the one. You can't do that. Your best bet, you don't have the money. The kind of money that ice cream, if you put it together, you ain't get it. You ain't get it. And you don't have that kind of money. So the best thing you can do, put the issue of shame aside. Call the Bar Association president, Councillor Gongola, because he's been crying the most on this thing here. Call people at Dallas Dillon. You might not like it. You might not like it, but you're going to have to. It's okay, you can call our brother. The best thing you can do, forget having the issue settled in Monrovia. Take this man to Dima County and call all the Zoe. Call all the old chiefs from all over the country and say we're going to kill 6, 7 cows because what we did to our brother according to ECOWAS is wrong. You do that kind of thing to Justice Kabina. He'll say, no, I want to talk to you. He will not say it. He will not say it. He'll say, because he will feel, first, right now he's feel vindicated. I mean, he'll say this X, Y, and D. ECOWAS say you're lie. ECOWAS say you're violated his right. What's the next thing you're going to do? The other Solicitor General, he said they're gonna go and explain. Okay, y'all go explain. Y'all go explain. I'm not a lawyer, but there was I was reading about it, but I don't want to go into that because I will when I get into that what I read today, when I get into it, I will tie myself because I'm not a lawyer. So I can't base on people's explanation. So if this was engineering, I would tear it apart. Because I know what I'm doing, but I'm not a lawyer. But basically what I'm saying here, to be honest with you, because here's the thing here. Guinea is not quite safe in that area right now. ECOWAS is on the pin and needles. Ivory Coast is not quite to par. Liberia, yeah, they're shaking here and there, but it's something they can deal with. You just recently, what happened in Mali? Well, how's that thing have been resolved? No. So ECOWAS, they are standing, their reputation is still shaking. They're being supported by the big international community, European and American and everybody else. But they're going to have to show some kahuna. Don't make them show that kahuna on you. Be part of the process. Be part of the institution building of ECOWAS. Because ECOWAS make the decision. Make ECOWAS and the international community see that ECOWAS is capable of handling West Africa. What part of it you don't understand? Be part of the solution. Use this opportunity to show that ECOWAS have the ability to handle West African issue. This is just simple. If you use this opportunity, ECOWAS community will be grateful to you. Ah, yes, Samson told you something else. Maybe some of the things you can see, you can see it. If you use this opportunity and settle this thing out, and Justice Kabina go back to ECOWAS and say everything is resolved, ECOWAS going to respect you as a leader. They will respect you because now they will do like that. Check. And then when they go to their international partners, look what we did to Liberia. Issue resolved. You have now made ECOWAS to be stronger. And so the next time anybody start foolishness with you in Liberia, ECOWAS will start running, coming, because they know you have made them stronger. The international community will support ECOWAS to come to your aid. What part of it you don't understand? You think that Kabina Gina business alone? These things are intertwined, my brother. You have to understand. You have to understand. Kabina Gina right now, you use this opportunity to build political capital. Hey, my brother, I wish our advisor, to President Joshua will be singing right now. Oh, ECOWAS said we're wrong. My brother, we're sorry. He's not Kabina General, he knows very well. He's not going back to Temple of Justice. He's not going to go there. Even if you ask him to go back, he's not going to do it. Because many of the people that voted against him are still there. You think you want to sit among those people? He's not stupid. So he knows he's not going to go there. Chief Justice, this is how he faces it right now. Because people are rubbing it in his mud. One of the things that I hope All the lawyers that used to write all the kind of stuff, they stay away. Let them stay out of it for now. Because you don't need to make Chief Justice look bad more than what he is now. He's a human being. He's our brother. And what is happening to him under his watch is bad. It's like somebody questioning his ability to lead. It's not Liberian, but before Liberian lawyer used to question. But now it has gone up to the next level, the international community. He's a lawyer. Many of these lawyers, the judges that sit on ECOWAS benches, they know him. He knows them. Most likely they have had interaction. And now they're passing judgment on his process. Please spare him. So the point is, call Justice Jana, asking for forgiveness. Don't be embarrassed. You're father of the nation. You asking Justice Jana for forgiveness does not mean you individual, Dr. Weah, is asking. No, you're asking on behalf of the Republic. Separate yourself from that. It doesn't mean you're not a good leader. In fact, if you want to tie yourself in, it makes you stronger as a human being. It makes you stronger as a human being. The only but that I have on the process that I'm giving is like you're throwing the Chief Justice under the bus. Somebody gonna have to go under that bus. Somebody. Somebody gonna have to go under the bus. But if you guys resist this and try to challenge this, people will be in your circle. Don't listen to the people, man. What they know about Liberia. They know anything because we agree that we equal so they can just can't make decisions. My brother, they're fooling you. They're fooling you. Use this opportunity to get political capital from ECOWAS. Liberia is shaking. If anybody start foolishness tomorrow, you will need ECOWAS, and that's when you're going to spend that political capital. You do this right now, no noise come out of it. There are people in ECOWAS that will respect you more. There are people in ECOWAS that will take note. When you need them, they will come to your aid. But you go challenge them, because if you're going to challenge them, you have the right to do that. It's a legal issue. That's fine. You're going to have to, you must. But at what point do you try to settle? So once again, folks, like I said, you can call me whatever name you want to call me. I don't care. You know who I am? Bloku. Nothing move me. Yeah, you're not even touching. You know what Bloku mean, Crown Dollar? Specifically in Kunabo Dollar. Elephant skin. You know how many days you can take to cook elephant skin before you can eat it? 4 to 5 days. By that time, hunger feeling killing you already. You're waiting 4 to 5 days before you can eat elephant skin. By that time, hunger feeling killing you, my man. That's why I call myself Bloku. You can't move me. Call me whatever name you want to call me. I'm just giving you my opinion. But anyway, folks, I know I came on late, so I'm going to go ahead and get out here. It's Friday afternoon. I just thought that I'd throw my own, you know, one of the things that I try to do when these things comes out, when they're hot and things, I try to read people's comments. I try to read what is happening and try to understand what exactly this thing is. And for me, that's why as a liberal progressive, I always come to these kinds of conversations from a broad perspective. And therefore, when I do that, there's the danger in there as well, because I'm leaving myself wide open for criticism. But I don't care. Well, let me take that back. I do care. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm giving you the opportunity to argue your point. And criticize me if you can. Because that's about the only way we're going to be able to understand each other. So what I'm saying here, if it's wrong, say so. I will now go ahead and open the line, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Let me go ahead and open the line. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. You don't have to agree with me. But let's respect each other view. Samson to Labron Pub Radio. I will open line. I don't even get phone here. Your will. Don't call you. All right, I'm back. Okay, give me a call. 916-533-2048. Samson to Labron Pub Radio. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello?
Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm following your deliberation. Yeah, I'm calling from England.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All the way from England. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead. Express yourself, my brother.
Yeah, I've been following the show for Cabinet Janet. This issue started from the onset. We said that it was illegal. It was an illegal removal of the justice. So I'm very happy that ESCOP has ruled that the justice should be really slow, that it should be compensated with this amount. It's left with the government to take equal advance or not to take equal advance. As we rightly said, the country is shaking. The country is shaking very well, especially the upcoming election, Let me just let you know, I'm the leader for the Liberian Liberation Movement. We will be watching carefully. We'll be watching the upcoming elections, and we want to take the stand.
My man, you understand? Another revolution movement again in Europe, which they start another one in America. You understand? Another one where I beg you, all that thing they must be lawful. You don't stay arguing. You don't stay conversation with each other, my man. I beg you, my man.
Yeah, I understand your side. But what happens is that this government does not mean well for the Liberian people. Up to now, there's no war crime and economic codes being set up. So it means that any other group can come and start a revolution against this government because they are failing to implement what the resolution from the TRC says. you see, and that they are going after people. You see that the government recently killed 4 persons in regard to the auditing. We know the story of Martin Amy, and we also understand that the assistant minister of transport was killed, body part extracted. We are looking at the missing 3 children, 3 youth. Up to now, there's no justice. So it means that in spite of the Air Force ruling regarding the illegal impeachment of Abina Janet, they are not going to adhere to it. They are not going to adhere to it. This regime is just like the Dole regime. I'm sorry for those of us that are connected with the Dole, that were connected with the Dole regime. But exactly, in fact, President Wheeler is gripping on power every day. And now we see that the justice system is totally broken down in Liberia. So we will have no option. We will have no option but to remove this regime. So
wow.
there'll be, because
I just want to say here publicly, of course you have the right to express your view, but I don't support unless you're if you're talking removal by the Constitution, 1 man, 1 vote, that I support. But any other mean of removal, I don't support it, and I'm not part, and I don't want to be part of it. But you have the right to express yourself.
You're going to be part of this. You're not going to be part of this. We're not involving anybody. We're not forcing anybody to be part of this process, to be part of this revolution. But what we are saying, because the justice system has already broken down, tremendously broken down.
Well, let's have this conversation since you're saying that. Let me push back on this a little bit. If you come in and want to remove Dr. Weah by force, do you also anticipate that Liberians that you're trying to help, many of them might get hurt?
Of course, war required.
So then, if you know that many of the people that you're trying to help are going to be hurt, then what is the process? What is the purpose of carrying on this just because you want this man removed? Why can't you do it peacefully through the ballot box and remove it instead of doing violent where the people that you want to help and you know that they're going to get hurt? So what is the essence of that?
The government does not understand peace, because if you understand peace, you will not go after killing people. You will not have peace when you have God.
Well, but here's the thing about we have no evidence that this government going around killing people. There's no evidence as far as I'm concerned. These are all speculations.
Yes, speculation that the government is not associated with the killing of the issue. We have got evidence. Let me tell you, the day we killed Abbott and Peter and Peter, it was planned at the party. It was at the party ground that these people were killed. In fact, let me just tell you, Abbott and Peter were a bit drunk. There was a confusion that broke out at the party ground. There were arguments regarding the audit report. There were people standing by, eyewitnesses who have informed us that these people were killed. They were concerned that why they say that Abbott and Christie always traveling alone. So from the party hall, they were killed, they were followed, and they were killed between Shockley and Monrovia. They were killed on the beach. So the president knows about it.
So you're saying that the party ground is in Congo Town. So how did they go from party ground and get killed between Shofri and Monrovia?
Yes. Shofri and Monrovia, Congo Town is between Monrovia, right? It could be anywhere because they were taking on the beach. They were taking.
Yeah, I understand that, but listen to what you just said. I'm just giving you the layout of Monrovia. The party ground CDC headquarters is opposite, I believe it's Orange Communication Group. So right there in Congo Town. So Shofrin is all the way going past here, Devier. So how can you connect somebody from there to be killed between Suffering and Monrovia? What are you saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, because they followed them, they killed them, and they were forced from that vehicle. So if you are telling me say that they were not killed, how would they be? How would their body be?
No. I never told you they were not killed. I'm just saying I have no evidence. I'm not telling you one way or the other what they did or what they didn't do. That's not my point. My argument and my point here is I have no evidence.
If you don't have evidence, well, of course, the police need to bring a very comprehensive, understandable inquiry into this matter. But up to now, we are yet to receive or to read or to understand what actually happened.
My brother, I know and I really appreciate you calling me all the way from England. Thank you very much. I mean, these are people that we admire, for people to call and have a conversation. But all I want to say to you is, while I'm saying that I don't have evidence doesn't mean that you don't have evidence. That's not what I'm saying. But the most important thing I want to say to you.
You say you don't have evidence. But
I don't.
There's a lot of eyewitness report. There are evidence. In fact, the killing of Yensua as well, we have got reports that Samuel Tuah is associated with this killing. You know that. You have heard that. So
no, I don't know that. Hearing the speculation and rumor does not make it that I know that. I don't know that. You have to show more than just speculation and rumors.
You don't know that. So you are telling me that in fact, between you don't know about it. Up to now, there's no investigation to tell us what happened to those. You don't know that as well. So your point of argument today is only about what ECOWAS has said. And we are saying that these are injustices flowing up within the court system. We are saying that 32 articles, about 25 to 32 lawmakers illegally removed this man. We said that it's injustice. So Liberian government needs to restore her reputation among the ECOWAS. And what I'm telling you, what ECOWAS has come up with for them to restore the Justice Kabila, they are not going to adhere to that.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I can't make that suggestion. I can make making a suggestion. It's not binding. LPR have no standing in Liberia. We're not government entity, but we are allowed to express ourselves just like you is allowed to express yourself. So me making these things is not binding. These are just conversation, my brother.
These are conversations. So what I'm saying is that because of the government reluctance to restore justice, and that we see that this government is going after our people, killing them like the Dole regime, we are going to stand tall against this government. And I tell you, Mr. Cho, as of December 8th, this coming December 8th, on the 8th, that is 1 month from now, we are going to stand tall against this government. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling, but again, any violence, anything that have to do with violence in our country, I am not part of it. I do not propose it. I do not respect it. I do not support any of it. My support is that I don't want CDC in power come 2023 either, but I must go by it through the legal means provided to me by the Constitution.
The coming election, they are going to rig this election. And that is
I don't know that yet. I don't know that. I have no proof. So let them. If they do, if we have evidence, we go to court. Liberia is a land of rule and law. Liberia is not a banana republic.
No. It's not a land of laws. No order, because the president is going after people killing them. The government is pursuing people killing them. You saw that Yeke Koloba, who have been burned down several times. Yeke Koloba has been arrested. We see people, journalists being pursued. We see team banks being pursued. Some team banks have come up with claims that his house have been surrendered several times. You know that. You know about that. Journalists
Well,
have
I've
been
heard
killed
of
in
it.
Ghana.
I've heard it. In fact, Tima was on
like
Liberia Public Radio one time and make the scene clean. But making the clean does not equate to having the situation being adjudicated.
Wongolo is on the wrong. You saw that Burma have just left Liberia. People are being pursued. People are being killed. So we are saying that the justice system has collapsed in Liberia. There's no law and order. People are living in fear. So the only way is that we have to stand tall against this regime. Especially.
Are you going to go to Liberia?
I've been to Liberia several times. I can go to Liberia anytime. I can even
No, I said tomorrow. with this revolutionary thing that you're talking about, are you going to be part of it in Liberia?
It has already begun. As I speak to you, to signal to President we have got guerrilla fighter already in Lopa, in
my goodness.
In
I wish you have not called LPR to make this kind of announcement. Because this is not what my platform is about, my brother.
About ECOWAS is not going to do anything because the TLC recommendation has not been implemented. So
yeah, but that doesn't. But no, I understand that this is an intellectual forum. This is not a place for you to come and announce your guerrilla activities and things like that. You want to do that, you can go. I mean, you're right there in Europe. Just call BBC and what have you. Please, this is not a place, especially on a Friday afternoon, where we're trying to see peace should prevail in our country. And then you're going to come on the radio to make that kind of announcement. That's something that I really don't appreciate. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your country, just as it is mine. But I do not support any kinds of activities that will harm anybody. If you want to remove Dr. Weah from power, like I said, I have bind-up fault of error that Dr. Weah and CDC have provided to me over the years that I will utilize during the election process. Anyone that want to go out there and start anything, you can. That's your country. You want to go there and do whatever if you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do that. But I, Samson Toe, even in as much that I'm not in support of this government, I do not and will not support anything other than removal through the ballot box. Nothing else, nothing less, nothing more. Through the ballot box. 2023, I will take my binder of error of CDC and let government have given over the years, and I will go and campaign against them and run a campaign against them to remove the government through the ballot box. One man, one vote. That thing you say you got in Lofa County, you not put Lofa County Pro in trouble again this evening. I'm not part of it. I'm not part of it. So please, if you're going to call my show, let's have conversation on how to improve life in Liberia. If Dr. Weah is doing something that people don't like and you want to have him removed, this is not a place to announce. This is Samson Toe. And I'm not speaking for the government, please. I'm speaking as Liberian. I got children. I still got my sister and all her children in Liberia. I still have my son in Liberia. He also have children in Liberia. Okay, that is the same thing they're there. And I told them that day in Philadelphia, this thing you're starting, though we're not laid down for you to run him over. 250,000 lives later. People are starting, the other young men, I hope it's just a bluffing thing. But if people are serious, then we're not learning from our mistake. If Dr. Weah and CDC is doing something that the people of the Republic of Liberia don't like, they have a ballot box. You can show Dr. Weah that you're not satisfied with what he's doing by defeating the CDC or CDC candidate. If Liberians are not satisfied with what is happening in Liberia, let them defeat CDC candidate. That will send a clear message to this government. Nothing else. Is sitting down and planning this and planning. You know how many Liberians you're going to hurt? This is ridiculous. This is not the place for you to come and make this kind of announcement. I told you we're coming out here to have an intellectual conversation. But yet still you're going to come out here and make an announcement about hurting. I'm here trying to bring peace in Liberia. And then you want to tear that down. I frown on it. And I said no. Samson told Liberian Public, give me a call. 916-533-2048. We can't continue to move on like that. In my own lifetime, I can't. What you're trying to do again? So I will not go to Town to rest under my palm one tree. What kind of business is it? I'm trying my best not to go home and lay down under the palm one tree and drink little palm. You want to start something again in Lofa County? So I will not go to Town to enjoy myself. I'll just stay in these stupid people. Oh, did I say stupid people? I mean, they're beautiful country. Yeah, man. The man pissed me off, man. Yeah, I tell you, what kind of business there? Eh? We probably will be travelers all over the place. We can't even go home. Every time people try to say something, you're not trying to put this thing together. This is the only country we have. That you're staying in Europe, we stay in America, in your country? That your country? What exactly is it that Dr. Weah is doing that you're going to use violence to remove him? You're saying he's killing people. They got law. Prove it. Sure. Don't you think I can sit down here and say, oh, Dr. Weah, this and this, that? You prove these things. Nobody's saying these things one way or the other. I can't come out here and make these kind of pronouncements if I don't have evidence. I'm not going to do that. What I do know, for example, I got other report here about the $16 billion. I have other report about the $25 million. I can use that because people wrote stuff in there that they said they got X, Y, and Z, where they give money to people that no number. It's rating. It's in the paper. I can show that. That's proof. But this one killing that person, I'm concerned myself. The kind of killing the kind of dying that been happening in Liberia, I'm concerned myself. I might not even want to go home right now. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go on air on the Liberian Public Radio and accuse somebody of killing somebody when I have no evidence. This is how we start and this is how we damage. You know how many people you know how many young people all over the world that are from Liberia that are building in our country? Are you going to try, when you start something in our country, you're going to save the people's property? You're going to save their property? How are you going to defend against the people's property? So when the people come to defend their property, then who are they? Are they defending the government? Or are they defending their property? In the process, many Liberians are going to get hurt. Where are we going? Where are we going? The Constitution gave us 2023 to remove Dr. Weah and CDC-led government. That's what the Constitution said. One man, one vote. Why can't we go around and start campaigning? If these people go, I just told you a few minutes ago. I told you about, what's his name? The guy that took it off position. Abu Kamara. I'll explain to you. Those are records. I'm not making it up. The man was working in one position in the government. He has a bank account open, taking money from position A, putting it in our account. Then he left position A and went to position B. While position A was still putting money in there, position B was also putting money there. The good thing or the best thing he should have done was to take the money and take it back to position A. Say, I didn't work for this money. Here's your money. He didn't do that. He said he was not able to check his account. That's corruption. He shouldn't have been elected. He was. Now, the next time, if I'm going to seek the position in our area, I will bring that up. Why do we want to hurt each other? Anyway. Oh my God. This man want to know. I came to America since 19 we. I've been here since 19 we. Okay. Samson told LeBron Pablo, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Samson, this is Rato. How are you, boss?
Not bad, Chief. Thank you.
Well, I've been following your show. But let me tell you something. I was even surprised for you to even have that guy talking to you for like 2 minutes because, I mean, if I were you, I would call him. Oh, but you are liberal, so you know whether the question is making sense or not making sense, you always giving people. And I love that. I really love that. Yeah. So with the cabinet Ghana issue that you were placing emphasis on, the removal, to be very frank, Mr. Toh, it was illegal, and I hope they will listen to your advice. Because Airport is talking about them giving the man SYZ, and they didn't get that money to give to the man.
No, they don't have money. No.
So if I were them, I would like, you know what? This year, get you crowd with Shin Crime and say, let come be close. What we did to you, it was wrong. Before I who the chairperson for this lawyer, I was the one that raised it, and I still chair it, and we outside you. We actually pick on you. So let's take the thing from the airport and bring it down. They will get them respect. So you're right. But will they do that? I don't know. But a lot of people say, hey, Mr. Rato, you got your show. Why you always kind of like critical on the government? Do not hate the government, Mr. Toh. Some of all, we will speak the ills in the society. Right now, Labra is like a wild, wild west. I can tell you that. Someone asked me the last time, Mr. Rato, why you always critical? I said, no. Like, for example, the last time district number 13, they had a by-election. The thing that went on there. And then Talia Ure, when she actually threw her in the ring, she got attacked. They even surrounded the besieged her. They wanted to burn the building and burn her alive. And no investigation. The 16 billion saga up to this time. No investigation. Matthew Heaney, it was a public sentiment that he got an inside information about the 16 billion, and that's why he got murdered. Up to this time, there's no investigation. And then we had a 25 million MAPO exercise that went on, and the report came out. Samuel Tuani was mentioned, but nobody come up with any report. And then Yeke Koluba, and then let's go on and on and on. And then recently, we got 4 auditors allegedly murder. So if the government continue to remain silent, then we'll say, but wait a minute, the government know about you. They put them down, the government can come out and say anything. And that will blame the lawmaker too, Mr. Toh. Because it's gonna be happening, if I were the lawmaker, they put you there to represent them. You are subjected to them. They are not subjected to you. You give them what they want. If it can happen, you call the police director for question and answer period. Why is it that people went missing the country? Why is it that people die in this and that? But they're not doing it the sitting over there. And somebody said they are doing it so that the government can look back on information from the house. So you must say that on the thing going on. It's your job to represent the people, But some say, with the kind of thing happening in Liberia, I don't know whether there will be any foreign direct investor going to invest in that country because it's almost like Wild Wild West. Complete insecurity, complete injustice going on, And I don't know. But hey, the only thing I'm always asking is we shouldn't be fools to bring war in our country again no more.
Yeah.
Well, a war will actually take us somewhere then by the time the library is developed. The only thing war does is to just, tear our country, we just tear one another apart. And it's complete violence. So I was surprised for it, even when that man happened for them, we said they in local and this and that nonsense. Directly and indirectly, all of us, we got people in Liberia. We got president in Liberia. I want to sit here and work from one picture to another. I'm going to go back on this and open my business. Then you come and talk nonsense on your show. You're talking about the guy people in the breaches. I'm sorry. there is an upcoming protest on the 16th on Monday, and I will be doing my show probably tomorrow evening after, when I come back from attending the funeral. Protest president or the head of the government, I would let them protest because it calls freedom of speech. Protest will not be violent except there is a provocation from the protester or from the government. Let the people speak their mind. But the government, if you are actually protesting, they will tell you to be an enemy of the state. And that's a mistake Tower made. The same mistake Doe made. And the same mistake he, Opon, is making. But anyway, I don't want to hold you up. I just want to, add my little 2 cents to it. And thank you for your show. I appreciate it. My name is Jim Rappel Jr.
Of course, I know that. Thank you, James. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Welcome, sir.
All right. Folks, give me a call here. Okay, let's go ahead and call Pa George. I've not seen Pa George all night, so maybe he's not even on. So I was going to be leaving here. But folks, no, on a very serious note, we can't afford to have these kinds of stuff. I'm not too sure if this young, one of the things that I don't want to take this thing, what a young man said, lightly. I remember there was a story that came from Butuo. I believe it was one parliament chief that came to town. Yeah, of course I was here already. But he came to Monterey and said, the parliament chief be drunk, man, you'll leave alone. Yeah, the same thing. When somebody say, when crazy man, he say, I will chunk you. You already got a rock ready. Folks, the very first time that I heard this music, it went, if you listen to this music, say, okay, well, in Liberia those days, when you live in a house, the house, at that time, I consider myself high class. So the house we were living in has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms. I was on the right-hand side in the middle of it. Okay, they have ceiling tile, but the ceiling tile, the noise came. So the guy next door on the other side to me, the next room, they call him Big Daddy. But he have music, he have record player. So what he used to do, like around 3:30 to 4 o'clock, he would put the record on and load it a little bit. Man, I listened to it one morning, around 5. It went straight into my soul. I'm like, what? I gotta get the music. And if you know this music, you know what year it was. So let's go ahead. Mr. Jackson Kamara, they're asking me to go again. So if you've got, you must have if you're serious, you're going to be going, I might want to go with you again so we can go to Totan. you know we have fun in Totan, you know that. So they're asking me to go again. But with all the yo-yo going on in Liberia, to be honest with you, I'm not, but I need to talk to you and see if you can give me some pointer because I know you go in and out so you know what is happening. I don't want you know, yeah, yo going, well, I'm not ready to leave my 11-year-old. So that's the thing. But I don't mind going. I don't mind going because the project they want me to work on this time around is in my own backyard, and I really like for my handiwork to show on this project. I want people in my own area to know what Samson Toll can do, because if I'm successful in designing this particular project, and people are able to drive on it. Yeah, here we go. The lady just told you, Fonani. Okay. But the lady just said that's the name, Amio. But anyhow, so I would really like to go. My only concern is that the safety aspect of it. But I really, because this time around, they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything. So if you hear the government, oh, we got this, they got nothing. So the particular part of the road, I would really like to do it. I told the guy, I don't mind doing it free. Because it's going to be a Samson Toll handiwork in my own backyard. These are kind of things like one day you go like, oh my God, give me the opportunity, let me help. I've been helping most of the design, you know that, Kamara. Most of the things that I'm involved with is in Montreal. But if I have to do something in the countryside, I would really love to do that. So I'm hoping if I'll call you, you and I are going to talk about it and see. But anyway, folks, I don't think Pat Josh is here with us tonight. I want to thank all of you again. Let me play this music while I'm still here. And again, folks, I want to thank all of you again for the wonderful Friday afternoon. Please stay safe out there. Let me just say this here. I want to say one or two things here. First, to the caller that called. I'm not concerned because you have no control over anybody's life. Even if you don't care revolution in Liberia, if God said the person going to die, it's nothing anybody can do. But what I want to say to you guys is this. These things, they are not something to sneeze at. You start anything in Liberia, you're not going to get help. If things start going downhill in Liberia, you're not going to get help. The people you're trying to remove, they have enough money already. They can go anywhere and live. Their family will live. The people that you're trying to help, they don't have anything. And that's what we're saying. But I hope that people will think twice. So even if Dr. Weir and his people are doing something that is so egregious that you want to remove him by force, think twice. Mr. President, good evening. This is Samson Toll. And with respect to the ECOWAS ruling, my suggestion and my advice is that these kinds of things, you can't eat crab with shame, Mr. President. You're the father of the nation. One of your citizens, if he agreed, one of your citizens has been vindicated by other countries. You now do the thing as a father. Take the shame from your citizen's face. Take the shame from his face. Call him, have a talk. I'm sure he'll be willing to do that. I'm sure he'll be willing to do that. So there will be people that will say, no, don't do it. That would be like you're weak, Mr. President. You're not weak. Talking does not make you weak. Talking makes you stronger. Because when you're tired talking, you respond, you react. People say, but the man tired. You're strong. That's a strong position to be in. But you even talk to the man, say, that's a weak position. Talk. That's the only country we have. Conversation will be the only way we go. So please, take the opportunity to have this thing resolved. It's a very serious issue. If you talk and they just associate just to go back to ECOWAS and say things are settled, you know how much respect ECOWAS going to give you? You'll be having a huge political capital that you can redeem later. This is Samson Toh, and I'm saying good night to all of you. Thank you, folks. We appreciate it. Tune in again Monday, Sunday afternoon for Freedom Watch, Monday for Conversation with Samson Toh. Good night, folks.
Mulema musimako kaba